We all know about African countries. Oh wait, no we don't, we're all stupid! But Africa is really cool, and you should know about them. But even when you decide to learn more about Africa, you may realize history still focuses on the same handful of countries. South Africa, Egypt, Ghana, Ethiopia. All interesting, but there are 54 countries here! There is so much fascinating history to learn about. But the most neglected and forgotten countries in the most neglected and forgotten continent are these small island nations. Small countries with small populations that have a minor impact on the world stage. But they are incredibly interesting. In this video, I will be discussing every small island country in Africa. We have 5 countries to discuss, so let's not make this intro any longer. And we begin with... Now, Cabo Verde is actually very important to me. It's the only country on here that I've actually been to. And by been there, I mean our plane stopped for fuel. And by me, I mean my mom. But that's basically the same thing. Also, I'm calling it Cabo Verde, not Cape Verde, since that is more preferred. I fact-checked why they have the 2 names, and apparently they just straight up changed it is all. So why do so many sites still say Cape Verde? That's stupid. Their pronouns are cab/cabo, and you will respect them. Cabo Verde is the westernmost country in Africa, lying off the coast of Senegal. It is comprised of 10 different islands, the largest being Santiago, with the capital Praia. This island having about half the population of the total 500,000 residents. The way I remember which country this is that the islands make the shape of a backward C, so I know it's Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde's history is quite brief. It was a Portuguese colony that was given independence alongside Guinea-Bissau, the least famous of the Guineas. But they ended up splitting off from the country when the civil war in the country began. Yeah, we're all the way over here. What are you going to do about it, nerds? Cabo Verde highlights what island countries are all about. Fish! Fish everywhere. Fishing and scuba diving. They got a lot of fish. It's like their entire economy. Look, you try and research obscure countries and it'll tell you about fish. Also freedom! Most island nations in the world are free democratic countries, probably because of the chill attitude and low stakes. Like, what's the point? No one cares about your power, bro. Just have some drinks, man. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Cabo Verde is easily the freest country in Africa. Everything is chill here. Just enjoy yourself. Good vibes only, as they send all their bad vibes to the East Coast. We got parties, beaches, peaceful and stunning cities, and turtles. Lovely. But Cabo Verde is only the start of this journey. Comoros, the Moon Islands, population 800,000 people. Comoros is comprised of 3 main islands. You can tell this one apart because the islands make a vague shape of a C. Comoros is unique among small island nations for being majority Islamic. It is also a part of the Arab League, being the smallest and most southern member. Comoros is not a very strict country on the practice of Islam and is one of the most relaxed countries on earth. We can see the Islamic influence in its flag, hosting the traditional crescent of Islam with the stars representing the 4 pillars. Each stripe represents one of the main islands. The yellow is for Moheli, the smallest island made of small plateaus, which gained independence from Comoros and then decided to rejoin it in the next year. The red is for Anjouan, who also seceded at one point from Comoros and has the densest population. Blue for Grand Comore, the largest and most populous island with the capital Moroni. This city is full of old but charming mosques and is located right next to an active volcano. I would judge, but where else could you go? Lastly, white for Mayotte? I thought it was 3 islands. Well, all 4 islands were given the right to vote for independence, and Mayotte voted to stay a part of France, even though the rest wanted Mayotte to be a part of the family. So they still put them on the flag. What are these islands, man? Are any of y'all united? Can you be loyal for one moment? 20 attempted coups? They've had 20 attempted coups. Where is the MTV drama about the 4 Comoro Islands keeping up with the Comoros? But you know what? Who cares about all the drama? The people of Comoros just like to relax and be friendly and enjoy life. It is one of the most relaxed places on earth. So enough drama. Let's just enjoy the beach. Ugh, I hate sand. Okay, we are here at Mauritius, and oh man, Mauritius is sick! This island is completely nuts. I mean, this is where the dodo bird live. It's gonna be wild. Mauritius has the highest population here by far, with over 1 million people, having a higher population than 2 countries on mainland Africa. But it is only one main island instead of a chain like the other countries, meaning that they are jammed into one small space, making it super dense. I guess Hindus are just obsessed with crowded places. It is a rare country that never had a native population and was settled exclusively by explorers. But dang, did they settle or what? Port Louis is a stunning city. Are small islands even allowed to have buildings like this? Proof that nothing bad can happen from humans settling on remote islands. What's that? You're wondering why I said Hindus earlier? You got some issue with randomly dropping comments about a random group of people? Well, it's not random. Despite coming from people around the world, Mauritius became one of the only Hindu-majority nations. There are tons of Hindu statues and architecture in the country. A little India off the coast of Africa. But not only is this a diverse country combining African, European, and Hindu lifestyles, it's also a diverse country combining many great natural sights. You got waterfalls, national parks and mountains, underwater waterfalls, 7-colored sands geopark, the most beautiful sand dunes on earth. You can see this rock. I mean, I'm more of a world wonder person myself, but I don't judge. But you're stupid and I hate you, not joking. Mauritius is also on top of many qualities of life in Africa. It's the #1 safest, 3rd best in education, high GDP per capita, highest human development index. Like, that's such a high bar for Africa. All these countries suck. Shut up! Honestly, Mauritius is on my list of countries I most want to visit, and everyone who knows about it would probably agree. Now, let's see what's next. Now, Sao Tome and Principe is by far the most forgotten and least visited island chain, kind of a change of pace from the last country. It has the 2nd lowest population on the continent, and has the smallest economy on the continent, and isn't rich like Mauritius or Seychelles. It is much more rural and quieter than most countries. So what is so special about Sao Tome and Principe? You've got 2 small islands, Sao Tome and Principe.
He said it! He said it!
They speak Portuguese like Cabo Verde, and they were spared from joining the Equatorial Guinea island chains, the least famous Guinea. What is unique about these islands? Oh, I don't know. Rainforests, waterfalls, beaches, mountains. I've said this all before. But those things are all cool. You may enjoy Mauritius for its more urban society, but you go to Sao Tome and Principe to remove yourself from society. These islands breathe adventure. You can go on a quest to travel between the 2 islands, explore villages, find the Pico Cao Grande. Yes, this is on an island. For a true adventure, make your way to the southern island of Rolas to make it to the equator and take in the view. These islands may be forgettable to some, but there is no drama here in Sao Tome and Principe. But that's why so many people love it. There aren't any predators on the islands whatsoever either. No big animals, no snakes, no spiders. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing ever happens here, unlike my country. Come to Sao Tome and Principe. You won't regret it. The flag may have 2 stars, but Sao Tome and Principe is at least 3. We've seen 2 islands, 3 islands, 1 island, 10 islands, but have you seen 115 islands? This is a real archipelago, ain't got nothing on our count. Last but not least, we've reached the Seychelles. Okay, maybe least because it's the smallest and least populated country in Africa. But Seychelles is an incredible country. Where do we begin? Look at that flag, one of the most stunning in Africa. It's all like, whoa, you know? Yeah. Seychelles is the richest country in Africa with the highest GDP per capita. You may say it got so rich by being democratic or smart or just having a small population, but in reality, it's rich because it has buried treasure. The esteemed French pirate Lebus was proclaimed to have buried his treasure somewhere on Malay Island, and we have yet to find it. There is more buried treasure also on the island of Moyen, which is to this day haunted by the ghost of a pirate to protect their treasure from the world. But I guess it's also just rich because of boring economics. But that means the people of the Seychelles live in prosperity, living a relaxed and wealthy life to enjoy. You probably know the deal by now with all these islands. Large beaches, lush forests, and fancy resorts. But you should also check out the small city of Victoria. This is one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. I'm not someone usually into architecture, but I have a strong adoration for the way cities look on islands. Whether Dutch or French, they always contrast nicely with the environment and feel so bright while so remote. Seychelles is the most Caribbean African country, a region that is very African. What am I even saying? Anyway, it's why I love looking at pictures of Victoria or Sao Tome or Praia or Moroni. We think of island nations as just beaches with big resorts, but there is charm and underappreciated culture to be experienced. People look over the surplus of islands we have and ignore what makes them all so special, and that's the people. Each one of these countries has something special to offer, and I loved learning about all of them. But that's not all. We still have multiple island territories we need to discuss. But let's make this quick, alright? Ascension. Small island with around 800 people that is used for the UK and US Air Force. Just military stuff since the island is hard to cultivate. It's very stunning because of its unique, desolate volcanic landscape with endemic species. When humans arrived, we wanted to help grow and cultivate the island, but then ended up sending it backwards by being invasive. But at least we got some farming going on. Mayotte. Mayotte is part of the Comoros Islands, but isn't a part of the Comoros Islands. They're a division of France, making them the furthest away point from Europe. They speak French, and tourists visit to scuba dive in beautiful lagoons. People from Comoros migrate to Mayotte, and France is using controversial measures to get them out. Shoutouts to French intervention in Africa, am I right? Reunion. Reunion is also part of France, with towns named St. Paul, St. Pierre, St. Joseph, St. Denis, St. Lou, St. Benoît, St. Andre, St. Rose, Le Port, and Le Tampon. I love France. Hey, that's pretty. Oh, what's that? Oh, another beach closed because Reunion has more shark attacks than anywhere in the world. What? I knew it! All this shark propaganda saying they don't attack people is a lie! St. Helena. The island where Napoleon was exiled and only has about 4,400 people living on the island. Not much to do here besides meeting Jonathan, the oldest land animal in the world at almost 200 years old. Tristan da Cunha. The most remote island in the world, hundreds of miles from any piece of land. Only about 250 people live on the island, and the other 2 islands, Nightingale and Inaccessible Island, are inaccessible. Really nailed it with the names right there. They produce lots of potatoes! People are fascinated by this country by just how remote this settlement is. You learn about its existence, and then never really think about it again. Just like my videos.